Okay, let's talk about something that gets a really bad rap in the tech world: documentation. It's often seen as the boring chore you have to do after all the exciting work is done. But I want you to flip that idea on its head. Don't think of it as a task. Think of it as the indispensable map for any successful software journey. So let's unfold this map and see where it takes us.
I mean, seriously, what happens? Imagine you're going to drive across the country, but you've got no map, no GPS, nothing. You might get somewhere, sure, but it's going to be a messy, confusing, and super frustrating ride, right? Well, that's exactly what happens in software development without good documentation.
And the difference is, well, it's night and day. A project with a map, with that solid documentation, it moves forward with clarity. The team works together, and you have a real shot at success. But a project without one? It's pretty much destined for chaos, rework, and just a whole lot of frustration for everyone involved. So how do we actually draw this map?
Well, it all starts right here, at the very beginning. You wouldn't build a house without surveying the land first, would you? Of course not. And you don't start a software project without laying a solid foundation of just understanding what you're getting into.
Okay, so these two documents are like a 1-2 punch. The system survey report, that gives you the lay of the land. It tells you what you're working with right now. Then the feasibility study takes that info and asks the really big question: is this project even possible? Technically, financially, and operationally.
And that is the most critical question. The feasibility study is your first major checkpoint. It's the go or no-go moment. Answering, can we, and more importantly, should we build this, is what separates a huge success from a project that just burns through cash on a cool idea that was never going to work in the first place.
All right, so you've gotten the green light. The project is a go. Now it's time to move from that high-level survey to the detailed architectural plans. This is where we create the actual blueprint for exactly what we're going to build.
These docs are really the heart of the project's blueprint. The SRS, or System Requirement Specification, that's the master plan. It defines everything the system absolutely must do. Then you've got your functional requirements, which get specific, like when a user clicks this button, this thing happens. And the non-functional requirements cover the how fast, how secure, and how reliable this whole system needs to be. I love thinking of the SRS as the contract. It is the single source of truth that gets everybody on the same page. When the client, the project manager, and the developer all look at the SRS, they should have the exact same picture of the end goal. This is what prevents that dreaded budget-killing phrase, that's not what I asked for. And this blueprint, it has 2 levels of detail. The high-level design, or HLD, that's the big picture, the outline of the skyscraper showing how all the major pieces connect. Then the low-level design, the LLD, zooms way in. It gives you the detailed floor plan for each and every room, each module. You absolutely need both to build something that's going to last. So, with our blueprints finalized, it's time. Time to hand them over to the construction crew, our developers, and actually break ground. But the map's job isn't done yet. Oh no. Documentation is still the key to guiding the work and making sure the quality is there. So you have your program specifications, which are basically the step-by-step instructions for the devs. But just as important is the code documentation. This is where developers leave comments inside the code itself, explaining why they did something a certain way. It's like a message to their future selves and to any other developer who has to look at that code 6 months from now. It saves them from hours of painful guesswork. Okay, so a feature is built, but how do we know it actually works? That's where testing documents come in. Test cases are basically checklists to make sure everything works exactly like it's supposed to, according to the SRS. And when something breaks, which it will, a bug report becomes the detective's case file, meticulously documenting the problem so it can be fixed before it ever gets to a customer. The software is built, it's tested, now it's time for the big moment: launch. But the map's job is still not over. Documentation is absolutely critical for a smooth deployment and for supporting the project long after it goes live. The deployment plan is your launch day playbook. It coordinates every single step to get the system into the hands of users. And once it's there, the user manual is their guide. It's that friendly owner's manual that helps them use the new tool effectively without needing constant handholding. A project's life doesn't just end at launch. It becomes a living, breathing system. Maintenance logs create its history, tracking every update and change. Meanwhile, performance reports act as its regular health checkup, making sure it runs smoothly and efficiently for years to come.
Now, beyond the core development path, there's this whole ecosystem of supporting documents. Think of these as the project's safety net. They make sure it's secure, compliant, and has all the resources it needs from start to finish.
So here's a quick look at that vital safety net. You've got audit trails for accountability, training manuals to empower your users. You absolutely need backup and recovery plans. That's your lifeline when things go wrong. Security policies to protect critical data. And of course, procurement docs to make sure you have the right tools for the job in the first place. Each one of these plays a huge role in the project's overall health.
So, after going through this whole life cycle, from just an idea to a living, breathing system, we come right back to our central theme. This entire paper trail, it isn't just bureaucracy, it's the project's memory.
And this right here is the most important point of all. Without this documented memory, knowledge literally walks out the door when team members leave. Future upgrades become a total guessing game. Good documentation is what allows a project to learn from its own past, to grow intelligently, and to endure for years and years.
So, I'll leave you with this one last question to think about for your own work. Take a hard look at your current project and its documentation. Is your map complete, or is there a critical piece missing? Maybe a feasibility study, a clear SRS, or a maintenance log. Finding that missing piece could be the key to getting you exactly where you need to go.